What's up, y'all? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Jones. And this one is actually a morning episode. And this time we both actually have coffee this time. Because
Mhm.
last time my good friend Nicole Mariee was on, y'all remember from the last episode, we didn't have coffee. And it wasn't morning either. I think it was
I
like,
had coffee actually.
I think it had tea. Tea or coffee.
I had tea. Yeah.
And
There
now
we
we
go.
have coffee.
You have the coffee. What kind do you have?
I didn't have regular old coffee. I have caramel coffee from Starbucks. I just bought a bag today with hazelnut cream. But if you do the cinnamon toast crunch coffee made cream,
I saw your story about the cinnamon toast crunch, like the flavor.
oh yes.
See, I don't. I saw that at Target because I get the Starbucks flavor from like the cream. Like I
Yeah,
have the white mocha because I love white mocha lattes from Starbucks. So
right.
yeah.
I haven't tried the cream from Starbucks. I always try to go for it, but I always back off. I always see something else. And I seen somebody else with the I thought it was seasonal when I saw the first time I saw
Mhm.
cinnamon toast crunch. I could never find it. When I finally found it, yes. But yeah, quick question. I'm gonna ask you this question because I know this is gonna be a tough question. You can answer it now. You can wait to the end.
Okay.
Would you rather, as an artist now, because I had to ask myself this question too, and it was like, damn, I stumped myself on my own question. Would
Yeah.
you rather make music and never perform again, or perform but never make music again? So everything you got right now, your catalog, you can only perform that. And you can do covers, but you can never make any new music or make a bunch of new music, put it out, but you can never ever perform it ever.
Oh, now these are some really good questions starting out. Um, it really makes me think. I cannot go a day without making music. Like even when I'm not making music, I'm still subconsciously making music,
Right?
whether I'm driving or doing something, a new melody or an idea pops into my head. So I would probably, I feel terrible for saying this. I would probably choose making music and never performing again because I'll know I can bank off of my music regardless, even though I won't be able to perform. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what everybody said. Like I even like I when I asked myself that question, I was like, I was trying to just sit back. I got cussed out too by a friend. Like,
You
I
got
got
cut.
cussed out. My boy a Christian artist too, and he cussed me out. He lost his like, yo, look here.
Whoa.
He cussed me out in a way. I'm like, bro, how dare you ask me something like this? I said, how dare you? I had to ask myself. I couldn't ask this question without answering myself because I
Right.
feel like with that, it's like saying if you, because it's like it's the itch you get. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to this concert. I'm gonna put it to my Nicole's concert. Now I can't perform, but now I'm like, yo, I want to perform again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, man, I can't do it. But then if I pick record, and it's like then if I, but the thing about it is, you can still record other people though. But it's like
There you
you
go.
still got the stuff, but then you get the itch to want to record again. Like, man, it's like you might well just sell all your studio equipment in, like, cause yo, cause
Yeah.
once that I said, you know what, I'd rather just make new music and just never go perform ever again. I was just like just record. But it would suck because you never know what song hits in front of a live audience. So you never know.
Exactly. Yeah, because I know like some music, some songs hit differently when you do it live versus, like a studio recorded version. So yeah, that's a hard question, but I think I'd go with that because, it just makes more sense, especially if you have your own studio.
Oh yeah, speaking of own studios, how does
Mhm.
it feel not having your own home studio? Because we talked about that also like a year ago.
Yeah, like remember when like in 2017 when we were looking for studios to work on our
Shit.
oh, those were the days. Like it feels good having to record whenever I want to, because I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to wait on anyone. I don't have to schedule, I don't have to go across town. I don't have to anything. I can just record when at just it's at my disposal. So I think that's a really good thing to have, a really good investment.
Yes, it is. Cause I feel like now it's like it's one of the things where I had to check myself. Like it's one of the things where it's a gift and a curse. Cause one, you can record whenever you want, but then it's like it makes you a tad bit lazy because I can record this whenever I want to. I'm gonna put this off. Then like you keep putting it off, like putting it off. Then like yo, you never get it done. But I see you. You always are doing something. Like I'm like shoot. Let me get on it. Like let me start going back on. Cause I'll take like 2 weeks off because I don't like over like driving myself with my creativity.
Same.
Cause I had the stuff written down, but then I'll go back and rewrite stuff 3, 4 times or reword stuff so many times. And then if I go back and record it, I don't know how you do, but like I'll go back and record, then I'll do like I gotta be in the feel. Like I know it's gonna be a good recording session when I feel good the day before. I cool, it's gonna be a good song, take a few takes, but then it gets like I keep chasing that great take, that great take, that great take. And I just keep going, I'm gonna stop. Cause I'm never gonna get the best one. So
That's true.
so what do you have? So what is your recording process? Cause I see what you do. So like what is your vibe? How do you get to the zone to record?
Um, well, before I say what I'm gonna say, like the only, like just to piggyback off of what you said, I think the only downside of recording at home is that you don't have that extra ear because you're always trying to do those extra takes. That's the only thing. But so that's like the only downside. But how I record my recording process, I typically like to record at night, just because, I live in an apartment complex, so
Right?
a lot of people are noisy throughout the day, but at night it kind of dies down. There's really no distractions. So what I try to do is I before I record, I have to like log out of social media because
Right?
that's a distraction. And I try to like, that's just my recording process, how I do things. Um, Now, when it comes to like actually writing, like playing the piano into Studio One, or even like harmonies, like I have a certain way how I do those. Like if I hear something, I'll just do it. Or if I need help, I'll just go to the piano. I'm getting better at labeling the tracks, because I was on the phone with my engineer yesterday and I told him like, hey, look, I have to, like, before I send you anything, I have to make sure I label everything correctly, because like I don't want to be that artist where I'm just sending stuff. So I've gotten better at that. I've gotten better at like cutting out like it's like, I guess like the splice tool or the cut tool, like cutting out. Yeah, so I've gotten better. I've been doing some fade outs and some fade ins, so that's cool because I don't do that often. So I just been playing around, and I think the more and more I play around with it and do it, like the better I get.
Same, because I called my boy too. That's who I said cussed me out the other day. When I asked that question, I was like, yo, I just learned how to punch in and yada yada. Man, I try to tell you not to work smarter, not harder. Like, yo, that saves so much time. Cause I just go all the way through and
Yeah.
I do one big take and then that's what it is. Like,
Mhm.
surprisingly, you go back and listen to all my newer stuff, you'll never know that I just went all the way through until I tell you. But
That's true.
now I learn how to punch in, and it's like you said, labeling it and everything, sending it off. The only thing I have not learned how to do is mix and master. I learned how to like play with the sound a little bit, but
Mhm.
I let the profession do the other stuff because I can't.
Yeah.
A lot of myself.
I can't either. Like I don't trust myself. I'm gonna be honest. At least we can acknowledge that. We let the professionals deal with that, because the mixing and mastering, that's the most important part of the recording process. Like you can have a great song, but if it's not mixed and mastered properly, then it's not gonna go anywhere. So I just let the professionals do that.
Absolutely, because I got a few from my engineer friends who like, yo, who did your mix on this project? 'Cause I had like 3 different people doing some stuff on it. Cause like I was like the last project, 88th Avenue, because the first one before that Hero, like I kind of rushed that one because I was gonna do more, but then
Mhm.
you know the Rona hit. Then with
Yep.
this one, I was like, it was supposed to be something else, and I just kept adding, and I didn't know a good studio to record it. I mean, not to send my stuff to. And I
Mhm.
had friends like, yo, you do mix and master. Can you do it? Cool, send it over. And like 3 different people, like there's like 3 different ears doing 3 different sounds. So you could tell, like, and me with my voice, I'm always self-conscious of my own voice. Like I hear something, I hear something. Y'all don't hear that. I don't hear nothing. What are you talking about? So I'm like, am I going crazy? So I say, let me just let this next project let one person do it. And some of the songs I got back, it sounds amazing. All right, cool. So it's like I do not know how to do no mixing and mastering. So
Mm-mm.
I can do like the just enough to make it to where they can make their job easy. There you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Like maybe, yeah, I can do just enough to make it, sound, okay on my end, just to see how, just to get like an idea of how it would sound mixed. I just add a reverb on there and I'm like, okay, cool. This kind of gives me like an idea, and then I'll just send it off. And then, yeah, I just let them do it.
Right on. So I'm gonna ask because I see a lot. I'll be seeing Nicole story. She be going in. Like I like the set she has. She be really going in. Like yo,
Thank
like I said,
you.
I like that's what be making me go harder because I see my friends doing it. And I'm like, all right, let me get off my ass and go back to work. I mean, because I be like, I just don't be feeling like recording that time. I feel like if I force something, it's not gonna sound right. I just recorded a song and it's funny. I don't know if this happened to you. Yeah, have you ever heard a beat the first time and it
Mhm,
doesn't really stick with you the first time you hear it, but the
mhm.
second time it sticks. Like, okay, I kind of like this. Let me write to it now. And I wrote something like it took like 2 days to write. Then I recorded it as I was going over it because I always go over it before I even record, so I make sure I want to get my flow down, everything, my
Right.
everything down right. Okay, I like this. I recorded. Okay, I really like it now. So it's like that was one of them beats. Like, all right, cool. I didn't like it at first, but now I like it. So have you ever had something like that happen before? Like you wasn't really feeling a beat, a track before, and then you like, all right, I'm feeling this one now.
Yeah, I have. I've been there, like, where I hear it the first time and I'm not really feeling it. Or even just that, like if I'm like coming up with like something on the piano and I'm like, I don't like this. And then I come back to it, I'm like, yeah, this could work. I can put this over like a beat or something. But sometimes it's the complete opposite, where I hear something like a beat and I'm like, oh, I like this. And then I come back to it, I'm like, no.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So what I want to ask next is with the piano, like she's a piano teacher, y'all. She gets down on the piano. Would you ever do like a full like piano project, like no beat, just all just keys, like
Yeah, I actually thought about doing that. Like, one of my colleagues in New York told me, he said, you should do like a piano album, kind of like what PJ Morton did
right?
on the piano album. I think his album was called the piano album or something like that. Like, I actually thought about doing that. Or even if I were just do like a stripped down version of all my songs on the piano.
That would be dope. That would be
Yeah,
fire. Because I
yeah.
always say about your music, I listen to it all the time. I just like I can't describe your sound. Like I tell you that all the time. Like it's one of the things like I don't hear it a lot. Like it's like I know that's Nicole Mariee when I hear it. It's like
Mhm.
you got a unique sound, and I think there's not too many people that sound like you. It's like it's a sound like it's like 90s, but not present time. It's like I can't describe, but I love the sound that you have.
Thank
Like,
you. I appreciate that.
yeah, man. Like I just like dope stuff at the end of the day. It's like there's not too many good music, a lot of good music out there. But when you find it, like yo, this is what it is.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
speaking of music, you said some I think about a few months ago actually, about taking all your music off of Spotify and Apple Music and everything. Have you, because like I thought about doing that before, but I'm like, I just got so much stuff going on there, like why now? But what made you hit that brick wall? Like not brick wall, like make you say, you know what? I'm sick of this.
Whew, man. I think it was after I released Breaking the Rules
Right,
back in the summertime, and streams did well. Like, I mean, Breaking the Rules, I don't know how many streams it has, but it's up there. But I realized that the streams didn't equate to the money.
right,
And I'm like, okay, now mind you, I made money off of my first project, Begin Again, that came out in 2017. And then I made money off of my second EP, Evolution of Love. But somewhere around there, around that time between Evolution of Love and Breaking the Rules, I started seeing things for what they really were,
right,
in terms of streams and royalties. And I was like, wait a minute, like, and I was seeing a lot of people posting their end of the year numbers on Spotify, and I was doing it back in 2020. But I started realizing, I'm like, well, that's great, but what's the money looking like? Like the
right.
streams are good, but the money is not, it's not equating. So I was doing my research on it more, and I wasn't the only one who had that problem. There's this artist in Brooklyn that I listen to. Um, he's a rapper, and he had the same problem where he was, releasing music, but the money wasn't there. Like it wasn't equating to the streams. And I'm like, wait a minute. When I released Evolution of Love, I released physical copies in June of 2020, and I made more money in just that one day, in that one weekend of selling physical copies going all around DFW, than I made in 1 month based off the
Right.
stream. And I started taking things for what they really were, because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Like Spotify, they're only paying a certain cent, not even a full cent. I don't know what the exact number is, but I was reading it on Forbes, but it's like less than a cent.
Yeah,
And then I started thinking, I'm like, okay, like that's that. And then I'm paying money for marketing, which is expensive. And I'm not making profit I'm making profit off what I spent on marketing, but not making profit off what it took me to release the song. And
right.
then even when I do get money back from royalties, I'm not getting it back all in one lump sum. I have to wait like a month or 2 to 3 months out, because Spotify and I believe Apple Music, they have like a 2 to 3 month delay. So you have to
Yeah,
wait on that money. I'm like, I should get my money back as soon as sales come in. Like I shouldn't
right.
have to wait. So, and I realized, like, I'm still gonna do that. I know Troubles, I released it on Spotify and Apple Music, but my next project going forward is not gonna be on Spotify.
Have you ever thought? Because I thought about doing this. I'm going to continue like to keep some of my stuff on those platforms, but I'm going back to Bandcamp because I feel like in a way, I hate that they do it where they get like a percentage of what you make. That kind of sucks. But at the same time, like I feel like if I can drop a 5 song EP on Spotify and Apple Music, but like, yo, the Bandcamp version has 10 more songs, 5 more songs, so you get more. So
Mhm.
go over here and get if you want the full project, go over here and pay the X amount for it. Because I feel like you'll get the money faster because when I put my first project up there, like I got the money pretty fast. All right, cool, cool, cool. Like, hell, you could get it the same day. Soon as they buy
Yeah.
it, you get it. But over here, like, you gotta wait, all the hassle. But like, I think it's like saying, oh yeah, they get like $5 off every sale. Like, whatever. But still,
Yeah.
it's not that bad compared to making 10 cent off of a stream.
For real.
It's like that's the one thing I can say I do not like because I've heard Joe Budden talk about, I heard everybody talk about your Spotify is not what it is.
It's
But
not.
it's like you think about, but it's more, only reason that I think we as artists have it because people don't have Bandcamp or SoundCloud. Like they the first thing to ask, do you got Spotify, Apple?
Yeah, that's the first, because, and then you have to think about it too, like you make less when consumers have the free Spotify account. So then that's, you're making less as an artist versus someone who has a premium account. So you get a little bit more, but it's still not that much. But like you said, a lot of people use Spotify because it's more affordable to a lot of people, which I understand. But us as artists, it's not, it doesn't get us anywhere financially in the long run.
Right. And speaking of back to physical copies, I haven't done a physical copy thing yet, but do you find it harder to move the physical copies because a lot of people they're so on to the streaming thing now? Like, yo, or is it easier to sell it like that? Or like, is it like your core fans that like, I'm gonna buy this physical copy opposed to
Yeah.
the people that's like, nah, I'm just gonna stream
You know, I never had that problem of, I thought it was easier. I think it was easier for me selling physical copies because it gave the people what they wanted right then and there. Because I knew like, okay, when they buy it, I know it's real. Like whatever they do with it afterwards, I don't care. Like I made sale. I mean, I care, but I made sales off of that, you know? So I think I guess it depends on the fan base. I know when I released Evolution of Love, everyone was really hyped about that release. So like when I had the physical copies, you know, everyone wanted one like right away within that same weekend it got released.
right.
Sometimes I think maybe it could, I think sometimes maybe it could be a little bit more difficult because you do, if you have people who live out of state or even out of the country and they want a copy, so that's money because, you know, you got to go to the post office and get that mailed off, or even if people live around town, you know, you have to meet them somewhere. But still, I think it's rewarding seeing like you giving your music a physical hard copy to someone who is willing to invest in that. I think that's rewarding.
Yeah, it is. And it's the same with merch too. Cause I have my homegirl. She's a collector. Like she just likes to collect stuff. And she bought one of my hoodies. Like, I'm not gonna wear it because when you make it, I want to say I have this. And like all my stuff, I told you years ago, everything I have is gonna be like limited edition. Like if you don't have it when it comes out, you're never gonna have it again. So she got that. And she was like, yo, I can't wait till you do this. I can't wait till you do that. And it's like my thing is with the physical copies. I look at, for me, physical copies. I would love to have those for like for shows. Like here's
Mhm.
a physical copy, and like I'm all about giving back. Like there's an extra song on this physical copy that's not on anything. This unreleased song. You know how the unreleased music go. Like it's a song that never gonna come out on
Mhm.
anything else. So if you got this, you got something. Like
Yeah.
it's a limited amount of physical copies, and that's what I like. I like it's the to feel like you're a part of a special club. Like yo, not too many people. There's only Nicole Mariee only got 100 of these physical copies,
Mhm.
and if you don't have one, you ain't gonna have one. Me with my thing, it's 88 of everything. So if you ain't got it, you just ain't got it.
You just ain't got it. Yeah.
Like, and how many of those? It's only 88 of them, man. You it's gone. Like once, it's just 88. Not 188, just 88. If you ain't got it, you ain't got
Yeah.
it. And so
Yeah.
another question I want to ask, how
Mhm.
do you feel? Do you still feel the same way you feel about, I know we spoke years ago about this, but do you still feel the same way about record labels that you felt years ago? Because I feel like I don't feel they're needed. And I heard Russ say something very impactful on the Breakfast Club when he put out Chomp 2. He was like, yo, I went to the bank. He said, get a line of credit. I went to the bank and got a line of credit for 500,000 to fund Chomp 2. I got an ad put up at Times Square, and I could pay the loan off now, but why? I can invest that money. Watch that. I'm like, we must protect Russ at all times.
Yeah.
He was dropping so many. I'm like, the thing, 500,000. I could, damn. Think about what you could.
Yeah.
Look at me now. 500,000. Do you? right now, 500,000 is like they drop $500,000 in your bank account right now. It's yours. No string attached. It's all yours. They say work. What can you do with that right now? Off top,
Whew.
music, life, and you can just whatever with the other half.
First things first. Yeah, first things first, I would get like a building, and buy it and make that an entire studio, like a recording studio and then a rehearsal studio, because a lot of people sleep on rehearsal studios, especially like as a singer, even as a rapper. Like you might be able to do a show live with the band and you need to have that space. So that's like first things first. Geez, that's a lot of money. That's $500,000.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Let's do our business. Now that you think about it, like, yo.
Yeah.
And people, I want y'all to understand, me and Nicole, we are independent artists. We fund all our stuff ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's hard. If y'all don't understand, I'm gonna put the thing in here. I'm gonna ask you another question about that too. I got a playlist dedicated to independent artists, tips and tricks for independent artists. But when you're indie, it's like $100 is hard to just shell out, because you got bills, other stuff, got stuff to buy for your house, you got just everything else. Just to give up $100, it's just like, yo, I just had a partner just get his first home studio, and I've been telling him to do that for years. Like, bro, you just now get it, yo, man, that studio time was catching up. And I told you.
Yeah.
But like 500,000, I could.
Ooh, I would, yeah, and buy like the best studio equipment money can buy. Let's see here. I would definitely use some of that money to work with in a marketing agency, because those are expensive, and I'm looking to work with one now. That would be one. That would be like the second thing I would do. Geez.
Yeah, see?
That's crazy. Yeah. Then I would buy me a house, paid cash for it. Buy me a house. I would probably hire some people to be on my team.
Right.
Like I would hire like my own videographer. I would have a whole team of people, videography, photography, my engineer, and they could just come to the studio and just work. I would have my own band, probably get like some type of tour bus too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably some type of tour bus too. And I would probably still have, after that, probably have like a good 200,000 left over.
I told myself I would definitely buy like a building. I'd buy like a studio space. And yeah, I think I've told you this before. Like now that I got older, I'm looking at, I saw tiny homes. And I'm like, yo, I could see the money in them. Like I saw like, yo, once I saw it, like, wait, I would buy like some property, like in Texas, somewhere in Texas, buy some property in a prime location that's built like not a compound, like 4 or 5 different themed tiny homes, and just let those air out and do your thing, like just have those, because they gonna make money yourself, especially if you're in a prime location in Texas. It's just perfect. Everything is dope. And I just let that make money. I just keep those the way that is. Studio space, probably restaurant or some coffee shop, some.
Yeah, I could see you opening that up.
I don't really like but there's nothing really I want. Like it's like there's nothing like, I know I'll get my mom something nice. I know she said she wants something, but there's like thinking about it. I would literally be like sitting back, like, first of all, I wouldn't believe I had it. I wouldn't even know what to do if I had, like, yo, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's easy. Like, what can I buy? It's like mostly I would buy like a studio, film and recording and just all in one thing, like where you could, so I could do my own shows there and rent that space out for other people. and make it affordable for other people. Like, yo, cause you you know how it is to get space, how to put together a show, put together your own show. Like, it's like, oh, it's how much is it? Oh, it's $1,000 or this, that, and they say the price. So like, yeah, it ain't nothing, but
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of money right now.
Same. Yeah.
I'll be like, well, $500,000. When you really think about what you can do, it's like it's too much. Like then you have something left over. Then you have something left over.
Right. Yeah. Like, whew. I would spend the rest of the money left over to get my Mercedes Benz, the G class.
Okay, I see.
That would take care of the rest of the balance that's left over.
I like, speaking of cars, I like the GMC Yukon. And
Those are nice.
yeah, I saw that. I was at the fair. Me and my mom was at the fair 2 years. I think the year before the jumped off. So I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, I'm in this truck, and the dude, like, you see it has a liner where you can, where the joint comes up with the speedometer and everything on the dashboard. I'm like, what I'm
Yeah.
looking for? I look like, yo, this truck is amazing. I gotta have one of these. But that's
Yeah.
the car wise, I would want that. That would be like, but like I said, like property, studio space, that car, and that's about it. Like I would just like, then a band. Speaking of band, I remember you told me also that before everything jumped out, you had a show in London, but you had to shut it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
hurt. How bad did that hurt? How bad did that hurt?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10.
Damn.
No, like,
Tell me
I
how
really,
that said. Start from the beginning. How did that all? How did you get all that said? Like, what was the?
how did it happen? Like, how did
How to
it?
audit it? Like, what was the? Cause I know how you think. I know you like you probably. I'm doing this here, and you just
Yeah.
push for it. Like, how did everything go, and how did it lead up to it?
Okay, so my good friend MC Reef, shout out to him. I'll make sure I tag him in this section of the video. Um, he actually went to London like last year, and he stayed, I don't know how, I forgot how many months he stayed over there. He
What?
was just yeah, and he's from New York, so he just made that transatlantic flight over across the pond and everything. And so he was over there for I don't know how many months.
You
He was
said
over
not days, not weeks, months.
months, yeah.
Jesus.
And I think he had just came back, I believe, like in December or November or something. Yeah, I think it was like November because it was around Thanksgiving. So he was over there for like at least a good 3 months, 4 maybe.
Whew.
And so he was over there like networking and doing shows and everything. And then so like we were like still in contact on IG and everything. And then he had did some type of show, and I forgot how it happened, but I reached out to him about that particular show, and then he gave me the organizers information, and I reached out to them. And crazy funny story is I reached out to them and they were like ready to have me and everything. And then when I did like the form that I filled out, because they wanted me to fill out the form, they said, "Oh wait, you're in America?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they were like, I was like, "Is that a problem?" And they were like, "Well, no, but the fact that you're in America, like you're actually living in America, like we wouldn't be able to fund your trip." And I'm like, dang. And I said, "Okay, well, that's no problem. I could just, pay for it. I can just, pay for my own flight. It's no big deal." Then, I kind of forgot about it. And, I kind of just kind of like let the whole thing kind of like fizzle out or whatever, because flights from Texas to the UK is crazy expensive.
Shoot.
Versus taking a flight from New York to London, because that's like a shorter flight. But yeah, so I still want to do it. I would just have to get the money together for the flight. Also like for my stay there, I would love to perform there because they had a band and everything, and I was gonna sing like 2 or 3 songs, and I was ready. Yeah.
And I know that had to hurt,
Yeah.
man. Cause that be dope because I've seen like internationally, like how You can check your stream plays and everything.
Mhm.
I've been getting a lot of love, like from Italy and everywhere. Like, hi, okay, like I be like, I mainly be like, how the hell did y'all find me? And then when I be getting like Shazam, like you were Shazam, then so like, where the hell was my music playing for somebody to like, I want to Shazam this in another country, like in Italy,
Yeah.
like where was this playing in?
Right, right.
That'd be my thing. Like, I'm like, once everything dies, I'm most definitely gonna try to do a gig somewhere like out there. Like, yo, where are my Italy Italian fans and where y'all at? I'm gonna be
And
out there.
yeah, like crazy thing is before the pandemic, like in 2019, excuse me, I was actually like making plans to do a show in London. I had some shows I was gonna do in New York, in LA, like just all over. I was just trying to just get in where I could get in at. And then Rona happened. And I'm like,
So
mm,
like New York is still a spot I want to perform at because I like how they got them small, like tight, holding the wall clubs. Only
yeah.
like 4 people can fit on the stage. You know, and they be rocking it. Like you be seeing how be like, and the whole house be jam packed. They be like,
Mm,
I want to do that.
yeah, yeah.
It's like that looks fun.
Yeah, New York is a really cool place to perform at. I haven't performed there yet, but one day I would love to do that.
I thought you did because I remember you was in New York like a few years ago.
No, I was actually about to move out there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. She turned
Yeah, I
in
was
quick.
actually, yeah, I was actually about to move out there. So that's why I was out there to kind of like get a feel for the area and talk to some people. But then, Rona happened. Like this was in October of 2019, January. Well, things didn't really pop off until March.
Right.
But yeah, so the plan of moving to New York just didn't happen because I was gonna move to New York after my lease was up. But my lease wasn't up until I think June of 2020. So yeah.
Man, like
Yeah.
I would love to live in New York, but like I said, you know me, the cold just don't know. It's like
I can't do the cold. I can't.
like the only thing good about New York is the public transportation. Like you ain't really gotta have like, cause she always say, I know she want to give it her car now because the way gas is
Whew, God, it's disrespectful at this point.
looking.
It's disrespectful at this point. Like, but then like, yeah, it's disrespectful. And I know like the subway system up there in New York, I've heard some things recently about it. But I don't know if you've watched this YouTube channel called Only in New York,
Right.
where I think the name of the channel is called About That though. But like their videos are always titled Only in New York, like only things you would only see in New York, no other place but New York.
Right.
And one person bought their pet snake on the train. One person like was bringing. One person had like a pet raccoon. I mean, only in New York.
And I heard when Rona happened, that was the first time they cleaned them trains in years.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, just if people
Mhm.
did, what?
Yeah. The trains. Yeah, no.
Like I said, New York looks fun. Like, I mean, the food looks good, everything looks good. I'm just like,
Mhm.
it's like, I think as long as you got good public transportation, I can stay there. Like, I would just have to leave before December. I would, I would be back home in Texas for like, all right, after December, I'm coming back. Like, sign my
Yeah.
leave for the summer. And I'm like, all right, I'm leaving in December.
I heard that their summers are really hot up there, which surprises me because it's way up north, up on the east.
Like, what is hot for them?
Hot. You see, I have New York friends too, so they're probably gonna be watching this. So hot to New Yorkers is probably like 80 degrees. And that's
Oh,
cold.
that's easy work.
That's cool. That's cold to me.
80 degrees. You put a jacket on. You can still
Right?
drive with a jacket.
80. But like hot to us is like 101,
Shoot.
103 at the
She
most.
said 80. Like, man, they're like, man, it's hot out. What is 80?
That's spring weather.
Exactly. That's like when we say it's cold. Man, it's cold. What is it? Man, it's 30 degrees. Man, that ain't nothing. We get negative.
For
And
real.
still got to go to school. Touche. Touche. So before we get up out of here, what are you currently working on right now?
I am working on my my next project. I don't know if I want it to be an EP or an album, but I am working on that. I am working on some other projects with other artists because my, people know that, okay, like my songwriting is getting out there more.
Right.
So I'm working with some other artists, and I'm actually working on just various songs, various genres, not for me personally, but hopefully for like another artist, like a bigger name artist, or I'm also working on to get some more sync placements as well.
Right.
So that's pretty much what I'm working on. And also, as well as, I'm always doing shows. I have a show coming up on April 16th at called The Functician, I believe. Let me just look it up and see.
And while you're looking at it, I'm gonna say this, ask this, because I didn't get a chance to get at South by Southwest this year. How was it? What was the? I mean, I know you're from Austin, but how was it feeling to go back home and be a part of South by Southwest this year?
It felt good. Like being the place that I performed at actually opened up in 91. So I was born in 91. So that's pretty cool. But South 6th Street, is not a big deal to me. I know it's a big deal to a lot of other people who aren't from that area. Because 6th Street is just like a regular street, but to me it is anyways. But it felt good. Like the energy was there, the vibes were there. I was actually kind of nervous about performing just because I was like, I don't know anyone here, like no one knows me, but it felt good. I mean, it was a little stressful. I'll say that. Excuse me. I'll say that, but it was fun nonetheless. Did my networking, met some cool people, and yeah.
Yeah, because I tried to get, like, I didn't know about like the side joints that was doing for South by Southwest. I probably would have gotten one of them. I was so big as focused on like, yo, the big stuff. I didn't even know how to get it connected. Cause when I saw you said like, oh, she on a big joint. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I realized, oh, she's on the side joint too. Cool.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't even know they had like side joints to be a part of. I just thought it was like, I knew they probably like people that did like gigs, like little things on the side. I didn't know. I didn't know how to do it to get in contact. All I knew like the big stuff.
Right. And I think next year, well, this year, for next year, I do want to apply for the main stage because it's like, I had fun this year, but now I'm like, I want to take it up to that next level. And I think you should apply for South by Southwest next year at the main stage.
I did. I didn't get picked. Like I applied the day they dropped, like the week before. They signed up early. I paid my little $30, waited. Finally got the email. Well, sorry, didn't get picked. Ain't that shit? I was hot. But you got to connect to some of the people you got connected with. So I can get on somebody else's like.
Yeah, I'll definitely, send you some contact information.
Please do. Please do.
When it gets closer to that time again. Yeah, because I think you would really love the whole vibe there.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I was ready because I told myself if I didn't get picked, I would still go. But like by the time it started, like I got like bummed out. Like I don't even want to go now. And it was like, yo, I didn't pre-plan. I ain't getting no spaces. Because if you with South by Southwest, if you don't get book your hotel, like you got to book your hotel now for next year because this everything will be booked up by. If you ain't booked by, if you ain't got it by December, you're gonna be.
That's true. Because there's only so many hotels in Austin, but thankfully I didn't have to worry about that part because I stayed with my aunt and uncle for free. So I was like, are y'all gonna be in town this weekend? Okay, cool, because I'm coming down.
If y'all not to leave the key somewhere, and I just let myself
leave the key and I'll just come in.
But yeah, like it's just as an independent artist. Okay, before we get out, what is one pro tip that you would give like a up and coming artist, songwriter that like they say if they could sit down with you like for 5 minutes, you say, Nicole, give me one good pro tip to help me in my career move forward.
Oh, that's a good question. One, just one. I would say, hmm, just one though.
Okay, I'll give you two. I'll give you two. I'll give you two.
Okay. I would say number one is get your paperwork right. Get your BMI or ASCAP, whatever one you're with, your copyrights, because that's important. No one's gonna take you seriously if you don't have those lined up, because it's so easy to get what's the word I'm looking for? It's so easy to get taken advantage of as an artist, especially a new artist, if you don't know those things, like to get the paperwork right, all the admin work. That's, and also as a songwriter, to get your split sheets, that's important. Like and also I would say on the side of that, number one, get everything in writing. I don't do anything by word of mouth because get everything in writing, document everything, emails you sent over, because if people act funny sometimes, people change, get everything in writing as an artist, because it's, like I said, it's so easy to get taken advantage of. The next thing I would say is keep going forward, no matter how many likes you get or how many views you don't get or whatever, because someone's watching you regardless. Even when I was posting my stories, sometimes I feel like no one's really paying attention, even though I know you're one of the main ones who are always watching my stories. But I'm like, no one's really paying attention. Like, maybe I should just stop posting these. And then you said that, by you watching my stories and me in my studio, that actually makes you want to go harder. So someone's always watching you. Someone's always taking notes from you. So no matter what, someone is always watching.
Yeah, because you never know. You may be somewhere. Oh, Nicole, I'm a big fan. Like, you inspired. Like, what? Like, I didn't even know you was watching what I was doing. Like, yeah, I've always, it's like one of those little things I always tell people, you never know who's watching. You never know. Like, all right, this video or this thing may get this many likes or this whatever. Like, somebody saw it and you don't know what. All right, cool. I was thinking about doing this, but now I wasn't gonna do it, but now I'm doing it because I saw you doing it. And that's what I try to tell people to, like, don't wait, because like, don't just, because this especially in music, the music game is tough.
It is.
It's tough. Like, if you cut for it, you ain't.
Yeah.
It ain't the
Not
likes.
part.
No, it's like the likes ain't giving out. It ain't equal. Everything ain't equal. It's like one person may have this many, this person may this have many, and you may just have what you have. But it's the quality of what you have that always matters. Like, they can have 1,000 something, 2,000, 3,000, but is the quality good? You may have better quality. So
yeah,
that's
true. And it's always quality over quantity.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, quality over quantity.
But everybody, I want to thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of Coffee with Jones. I'm your host, June88, and my lovely, lovely special guest, Miss Nicole Mariee. Tell them where they can follow you.
Thank you. Yeah. All things social media, Instagram, Facebook at Nicole Mariee Music. Marie is Mariee, Nicole Mariee Music. And I am working on a website. And yeah, and then YouTube, just type in Nicole Mariee Music and I'm there. And I'm on everything, Spotify. My current music will be staying on Spotify, Apple Music. Going forward, it won't.
Right.
So yeah.
I think she's gonna switch to Bandcamp, guys.
I think so. Like, I think maybe I might keep Apple Music. I might, and then just not do Spotify. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure some things out, do my research, but yeah. But everything is found on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever else people listen to music digitally.
Right on. So, like I said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This video will be going up, what's today? Tuesday. So this will be up Thursday. And thank y'all for tuning in. Comment, like, subscribe, follow Nicole Mariee on everything. And we are out of here.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.